felt like you never have the time to meet your friends in your hectic academic life? Do you make use of software such as When is Good, Morganize, etc.? Or do you manually look at others' timetables and spend a lot of time and money on texts, calls, emails, just to arrange for a convenient meeting time? A number of modules in NUS have group projects, which require students to meet their group members on a very regular basis. It's truly a challenge to arrange for these meetings considering that everyone has a different timing of their class schedule. And it's really difficult to find a time which works for everyone. I'm Shruti. This is Arnab, Shan, and Shanav. We're Creavery, and today we are presenting to you Free Time. This is our mobile app, which spares you the huge trouble of finding a free slot between classes. Shan will elaborate further.
As you all know, it's to do with timetables right now. And when you actually open the app, you're greeted with your timetable, your current timetable you see in IVLE. And you can see the next event that you have for the day. So you don't have to look through your paper timetable and see what time it is right now and when is the next class and where is it. It's just shown. The next event is actually shown from your IVLE timetable. And the thing is, that is just the timetable aspect of it. It looks like just any other calendar app, but it's not. The key feature, the X factor, is that you can actually, you all have projects, and you want to talk to your friends, and you have to find out when is the next free slot. And this is actually a very, very big problem. We spend a lot of money. Actually, we call, if I have 6 people in my team, I have to call 6 people and ask every one of them when they're free, and I have to do it manually. It's a lot of time, a lot of hassle, and it's actually annoying, especially since we all work late in the night. Some of them are sleeping, some wake up, and no one knows when everyone is awake. Phones are turned off, a lot of problems. So we're essentially going to use, we all know the timetables of every single student. We can use the LAPI to find it out, and you just log into it, and it's going to take in everyone's timetables, map it together, and you can actually find out when are the free slots for all your friends. And there you go. You know all the free slots you can have in a possible week. You don't have to know, oh, this day doesn't work with the last person, I have to start all over again. You have every single free slot there in front of you. And like we were just saying, and additional features will be presented by friend Arnav.
So essentially, you've got an idea of what the app does as of now. It simplifies a lot of the things, a very tedious task that we ourselves have had to face over the past 2 years of our engineering course. A couple of additional features of our application is, primarily because it's a mobile web app, it is applicable for any and all mobile browsers, whether it be the Safari browser on your iPhone or iPad, as well as the stock browsers on Android, Windows Phone, and as well as the BlackBerry browsers. It also works just as well on a desktop browser if you don't have a smartphone. I myself carry around a very rusty and hardy Nokia, so for me, the website will load perfectly fine on my computer. Of course, and the next thing is, because our app is essentially so simple, it is very clean and uncluttered. We will show you snapshots later towards the presentation. Basically, where we have arranged the time slots in simple chronological order. And there is not too much of information, yet just the right amount. And there's not too much excessive navigation options or anything that hinders you from your information. A couple of clicks and you're already there. And of course, we try to make it as easy to pick up as possible, whether it be for engineering students or science students or art students, because we want to make this app available to all students of the university. So we should not have it too technical. Therefore, it's very user-friendly. And we've tried to make the graphics a little bit easy on the eyes. So you'll be the judge of that, whether it looks pretty or not. One thing it does for you is that you do not need to break your head trying to find common slot, basically. Personal experience is from last year, I had this project module in which we had to get into a group and create a circuit board and stuff. It was quite difficult for the first 2 weeks because none of us could show up. Not all team members could show up at the same time, at the same place. I could think that using this application, the next student in the same course, their lives will be much easier. seriously much easier for not only from engineering course, even arts courses where you have to get together to make presentations and things like that. And another feature that I think we haven't quite mentioned here, but which is inherent in our app, is the aspect of privacy. Essentially, how our app works is that while we were thinking about this idea, a concern that came up was, if we want to collaborate or combine timetables, how do we make sure that someone isn't, using your timetable without your permission? So a simple way to go around the solution is, of course, by having each one log in the app. So for instance, between the four of us, let's say we want to arrange for a meeting, for a module. I go on my phone or my laptop, whichever medium I'm using, and they put in all their details. And that's when the system generates out the next couple of common slots, and there we have it, all in our presence. Say, for instance, we are not physically there. We are discussing this at home. Let's say they live on campus, I live at home. So we can collaborate online, say, gather on Gtalk or something. You log in with the same ID, and you're able to get the same information with their information. So I'm not stealing their data, or I'm not getting into their timetable or checking out without their consent. So I feel, in short, this is a very useful application that we feel should have been out when we joined as well, and we're just glad to work on it. In terms of future improvements, we'll have China again give us prospects of the app.
I'm back, and it's the future improvements. Essentially, our app is still in version 0.1 or just 1.0, however you want to dub it. We have a lot of ideas for this. I mean, obviously, this 1 month was not enough. We want to take this really big. We like this idea so much. We really liked it, and we wanted to do a lot of things at the beginning, but we had to push it to version 2 or version 3 in the release cycle because we just can't do everything for just the first release. And the first thing would be, right now it's completely integrated with the IVLE calendar. So we can actually, whenever you find a free slot, we're going to actually append it to the IVLE calendar. So in your personal calendar, the slot that you just got was free is actually booked right now. So it's actually going to show you that you have a meeting, and wherever you guys schedule the meeting, and it's actually show up. And if you remember, in the home screen, I told you about it's going to pop up when your next event is. And you can see there that you have a personal event, which is scheduled a meeting with some of your friends. So it again goes back to showing you that making sure you don't forget your meeting. And since it's going to be a one-time thing, if you're all going to decide an app, decide a place to meet and what time, everyone's going to forget. I mean, we're students, we have so many things to do. You're going to get stuck behind a lecture or tutorial working on something. So we're thinking of sending an email to everyone, reminding them that they have a scheduled meeting, either on the same day itself, or if possible, schedule the reminder probably a day in advance or a couple of hours in advance. If you all have smartphones, you're going to get push notifications, and therefore we're going to make sure you're not going to miss your schedule. We could also implement pushing an SMS, but that's going to be in the long run if we get there. Yeah. So. And we're also, the thing is, we're actually showing you where the location is, and especially year one, the freshers, I see all of them, if I schedule meetings with a younger, like a junior, the first year, they usually don't know where, I'll be like, come to E4, O3, O2 or something, and they don't know where E4 is, they don't know where level 3 is. And as you all know how NUS is like a maze, it takes you like 3 years and you still don't know how to get around. And level 6, and you go across the building, it's level 2 now. So we're actually going to integrate it with the maps. So it's actually going to show you where it is, and if you touch it, it's just going to show you where the map is. And we could also put in bus routes if we need it. And so it's going to be a completely, it's everything you need to get to the place at the time. It's going to be there. And yep, I'll be passing on to Shanab for the demo.
All right, I'll speak without the mic, guys. Okay, I think it's loud enough. So I'll be doing the demo out here right now. So basically to list everything in summary, and also to say why we should actually win this competition, okay? Because we have a few things which stand out from the rest. I'll be slightly technical out here, but basically what we have out here is we're using something known as GWT, which is the Google Web Toolkit, and over there we're using the GWT FX, which is the original and the most basic platform. What I see the other teams are using is more like on the layer of it, which in that sense, basically, we have done more work on it, and all the animations which you see here have actually been coded by us. I presume the other teams have not coded the animations on their own. So secondly, our app is actually portable across mediums, like my friend Arnab said here, because I mean, say for example, you have a Mango build Windows 7 phone, and then say you have an iPad, and I have a different phone. So it does not have to restrict to a specific browser, a stock browser, or a specific platform altogether. I can actually just use different phones, and I can actually still use my app, and hence it's very versatile and dynamic. And thirdly, as my friend Chan told here, we have a lot of room for improvement, or rather I should say a lot of room for actually adding in new features. So how I do that is basically what's happening out here is, say for example, since we're doing many dynamic calls out here, so we can actually use this for sending email notifications and all the further improvements which Chan said. So we can actually work on this for a longer period of time if given so. I'll just run through the app right now. Okay, so this is the first login page, which is redirected to IVLE. And upon clicking in login, you're welcome to another page, which is basically bringing you towards the next page. And this page is more like, just to authenticate the login, because we're using some algorithms in that. And once we go to the next page, are they now connected to the internet? Okay, I'll just reopen Google Chrome. So basically, okay, fine. Until the time this opens, there are two layers of login. Firstly, we have to connect to the internet or IVLE, and upon connecting on that, our own server actually authenticates that login. And when doing so, we actually see that token, and then we proceeded on to our own app. So there, I mean, it's a very secure app as such.
It's just still waiting for the local server.
Okay, sorry, just a bit of technical. I'll just rerun the project.
It's fine. Happens to me every time.
Happens to all of us.
Yeah.
Just. It takes time for the initial to go to IVLE because it has to redirect first. So the time it takes a bit.
Something? You don't need to because you can still do it. Yeah.
We're actually doing this login because initially the idea was to just use this login page, but we were asked to actually use the IVLE's page to get the authentication token. Therefore, there's a little bit of two logins are, but this one is actually right now not really used. It's for future again, where if we can essentially if we're allowed to use this to actually log in to the to get the token because redirecting to the IVLE page is not actually very neat. It doesn't look too pretty, but we were asked to use this right now. So that's why you have the two logins.
Okay, so just come here. What's happening here? This is a user interface right now. This shows today's date. Upon clicking onto any of the dates here, you'll see that date, and you will see the corresponding lectures and tutorials of that day. So firstly, it's a timetable app, right? So you see what is happening here. And this is your next lecture for that specific date. And so you have also further information, like you have the lecture, time slot, and this venue. So if you click on any one of them, you actually redirect to a very simple looking page which shows you all the necessary information for attending your class. And going back, we come to the main feature of our application, which is the use of collating timetables and actually finding a free slot. So by clicking on that star, which my friend just did, you enter your friend's user, you ask your friend to enter your user ID and password, and you can do this for multiple users. Right now we've implemented for 3. And basically all the timetables are collated together, and by a simple algorithm, upon logging in, we actually find the free slots. So this is the next most closest free slot, and the list goes on with the other free slots which happen over the next few days. So you can actually choose whichever you want and go ahead with your choice. And actually, what we plan to do for future is actually just to send email notification to the rest of the users that we have selected this, and hence all the matrix numbers, like as in the email IDs, will actually get a notification with this regards. Yeah. And we also have further plans of integrating this with social media, like say Facebook and Twitter or something, where all our friends can be informed that we're meeting at this point or something, just to let everyone know what's happening actually. And as we had described throughout our presentation, it's a very simple looking app, but it's very straightforward, it's easy to use, it's very user friendly, as we have tried it on various platforms, BlackBerry, Windows 7, Android, Apple, and also, I'm sure, working on a browser is obviously the best. I think that's about it. Yeah, we'd be glad to answer all your questions.
I have a question here, which is your screen size is actually fixed at that canvas size. Yeah. So what happens if my mobile phone actually has a screen smaller than that?
We're actually planning on putting a resize to fit. We have not put it in. Right now it's picture that, so it's in quotes for those for that exact screen size, but it will actually fill up or shrink in the future. So if you have a smaller screen, you'll actually have to navigate around, but let's actually just, it's just 2 or 3 lines. You just have to resize depending on once you detect this.
And right now it's optimized for the iPhone actually. The screen size is for
this screen size.
I think most of us are iPhone users. Yeah.
And this is the safest resolution to bet on most phones. Yes, the newer ones are bigger or smaller, but this is the safest. You get the largest base, because for starters, we wanted to make sure most of them can use it, and then we can slowly iterate, because resizing we thought was one of the things that can be easily changed, but we were just working on the more important aspects first.
Thanks, Seth. That's a nice presentation. I like the idea of being able to find a free slot with my fellow, even co-workers. That's what we use Microsoft. But one of the challenges I have with this kind of functionality is how it integrates with my other calendars. Say, for example, there's a party tonight. Yeah. For example, there's a party tonight, right? So it doesn't take into account. This kind of calendar doesn't take into account that calendar, which my friend could be in some other place, right? So do you guys have a solution for it?
Right now, the simple solution is we actually don't just give you one time slot and say you have to choose it. We actually give you 5 or 6. And considering you're all meeting right now and deciding on when to choose next, the thing is you can actually just choose. If one person can't make it the first one, choose the second one or the third one. Yes, it's a bit more work, but the only way to solve this would be actually asking everyone to add in all their personal info, what other times you actually occupied, which is going to make the whole process much harder. It's easier to choose, eliminate, than actually add in everyone's timetables. We could integrate it to Google Calendar.
There's a simple way to go around with that. I can just think of right away. You know how we mentioned that we're going to send emails out to each of the students, right? It's going to go to the NUS ID, and most of us have redirected to our Gmail inbox. And when you receive a notification, there is an automatic option where you say add to calendar. It goes into your Google Calendar, and once it's there, you can share it with anyone and everyone you like. It goes into your personal schedule. You can go into your work schedule, party schedule, whatever. So, if you have that as an option, when we send you an email, you will automatically get redirected to your Gmail inbox, and it's just a matter of clicking add to calendar on the right. Yes, so it should be possible. That is right now. As if we get the means to develop it further, then definitely we just want to click it right there, like add to calendar. You can choose, for example, say Outlook or
integrate to Google Calendar. But the idea was to use the ideally yes, right now.
For starters, we are sticking with this.
We didn't want to get everything in cluttered and right now. We have to do it step by step. So
possibilities are definitely
right now.
So from what I understand, the accept functionality would be outside of the app. Is that how it works?
Yeah, you don't accept the app does not tell you when you have to meet. It's still under your, I mean, obviously the app cannot dictate when you guys have to meet. So you guys, it's at your own discretion. You have multiple timings, and once you choose, and then it's confirmed. But right now, once it's confirmed, it's still mutual. It's going to be in the next cycle when actually you're going to make sure to send an email or confirm, send a text or anything to CRD.
Because do remember, this is only a free slot according to your academic schedule.
Right.
So for the first slot, you might have your own thing. For example, you go like ski for the weekend, whatever. Whatever, you might go swimming for the night, play table tennis, whatever. So the first slot might not work for you. So in that case, you have the next free slot. So again, based on your personal timetables, we give you the multiple options. It's up to you, obviously, to choose as a user, student. So you have the choice. Makes your life that much easier.
Okay, my last question would be on there's this one interface where you're asked to enter your friend's password. I mean, is there another way of fixing it?
Actually, I mean, we're not basically. What happens is we go to that page by clicking on the start. You're not physically entering your friend's password yourself. You're actually bringing this phone to your friend. Suppose I want to schedule this meeting, and instead of taking out my Trunkful timetable, I'm not going to see which slot is free. I asked my friend to please sign up for me. She does the same. And actually, this can be done over platform. Like, say, if I'm holding this smartphone, probably in the future we can actually integrate. He can do it from himself. We're on the same page, and he can fill up on the same page. And the moment we click login, all of us have got to the page where we can see that specific free slots.
To be very honest, we needed a server to synchronize everything, which was we just wanted to show a proof of concept first. And it's not that hard, but it's a lot more work to get a server to synchronize everyone, different places, so that you can actually do it in your own homes. And of course, we do not encourage you giving your password to anyone. Just to find out when your free time is. But right now, if you're all meeting right now, you can schedule the next meeting right now, and your problem is not that hard. We can the authorization token will be sent.
Actually, I have a suggestion. I also have did something similar on this kind of things before. Alright. So actually, from industry point of view, is that no one wants to store passwords. So let's say, for example, even if you give me your password, I don't really want to store it on my server because that means responsibility. Yeah. So what you can alternatively do is actually build this as an abstract platform, and then IVLE is just one of the service providers. And you store everything on your server as a calendar item. So let's say, for example, if I work in, let's say, company A, company B, and I'm also let's say, for example, an MBA student. So I have 3 different calendars, but I want, as a user, I only want one. But so that you can actually store something back into this cloud somewhere, so that people can move it.
Actually, to be honest, okay, this is not the best app for sure. Because we have a lot of limitations. Like, we had just 1 month period, and also that the iGally login. Currently, we had a plan of just using user IDs, enter your friend's user ID or something. But iGally wants us to actually use the password as well, because we need a multiple. I mean, you need your friend to authenticate that using your user ID. So we had to be restricted to this. Yeah.
And of course, it increases a little bit of privacy. You don't want anyone to just randomly go into your timetable, because without their own login, you might just just take my timetable and fill with it and see on the next free time, stop me or something. Possibilities are there. So, in short, we are, as of now, this is you just physically pass the phone around to your friend when you're meeting in person to find your next free slot. In upcoming versions, when we do get the time,
but right now, you need to pass your phone to your friend. Eh? So why don't you just talk like?
No, but
just saving yourself 20 minutes of discussion time with 3 clicks.
Suppose 10 of us, and then everyone has to take our timetable, right? So,
And the whole point of the app was to replace the whole process of manually doing it and just getting it onto an app.
We have 5 days, and 2 of us should probably be easy. You can just find out when you're free, easy. But when you have 6 of us, you actually have to pass the time to each one's timetable and find out when you're free, and some of us don't even carry a timetable. I mean, some of them don't even go to all the lectures, so they don't even know when the timetable is. So we have to just.
That is true. True story. True story. True story.
Yeah. So you have to just build a timetable for the person, and I mean it's easier when the calculation is just done on a server. You don't have to manually go when are you free, and then if you just find 5 free slot for 5 people, and a 6th person comes in, I'm not free at that time. I have to start the process all over again. So why do we have to get humans to do it? Just get the server to do it. Yeah, it gets harder. The complexity increases with more people.
thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thanks.
Okay.